slideshow of Helen Frankenthaler, and you know what her work looks like, and you know how she did it, and let's do it ourselves. You start out, everybody needs to have 2 pieces of, this is sheeting, it's soft cotton cloth, it's absorbent. You need your paint, you need a variety of brushes. You can share the paint, and have a variety. You may not need any of them, but you want them to be there, and your most important thing, your rag. So everybody has an assortment of paint in front of them, and you have some empty cups. And I want you to take some time to mix your own colors rather than just using straight out of the tube colors, because you'll have much more nuanced color, and when you put a color down, you'll have more feeling for how it's calling to the next color that you put down, and it'll be more of a really personal expression. So we have here water, and this is water with a little bit of acrylic gel mixed in because it just gives the paint a little bit more flow. Helen Frankenthaler worked with oil paints and turpentine. Once you saw Jackson Pollock painting on the ground, you all know what happens next. She had to get off the canvas herself, lay it out on the floor of her studio, and as you paint these pieces, I'm having you work back and forth between 2 of them. Just imagine that this is 12 feet by 8 feet, or some huge size like that. That'll take you into where you need to be to make these loose, free paintings. So she used the pouring technique. She invented the pouring technique. And how can we start but pour? The tension between random and control is what this is all about. I'm going to take this red and pour it. It's just like whether we're working with representational art, working from a still life as we'll be doing, or if we're working in a completely abstract manner, we're still thinking about line, shape, color, texture, and composition. The 5 elements of art. I'm going to grab the brush because I like the freedom of some of this, but I want to lay in a composition. So I'll just use this brush to spread the paint, but I'm going to leave some areas. These little accidents here are good. And I'm going to do some more pouring right next to it. And instead of mixing that with a brush, I'm going to see what it's like to mix it by just adding water. Think in terms of, well, maybe if you've done wet on dry watercolor, you know that you put the paint on something dry, it doesn't spread as much, but if you put it on something wet, it does. Looking okay up there, but you can tell it's hard for me not to get my hands in this, and we're not going to fight that impulse anymore. I'm just going to use my finger the way Helen used sometimes a squeegee, I think. I kind of want to save that area for now. And really mix the color on the surface. Ooh, don't be concerned about any kind of, I don't think there's anything we could call a mistake at this point because this is such an experiment. But you'll notice I'm leaving some white areas, some raw areas. This would be the naked canvas if we were working on a 20-foot thing in a loft in New York in the early 50s when Helen was doing her thing. I'm going to be pretty free with the color. Go ahead and start yours. If you're mixing color right now, that's great. I'm just trying to really give you, those of you that are watching the exhibition here, it's fine, but those of you that are going right into mixing the color, we can all kind of be at different stages of this. We certainly don't all have to be doing it together.